So remember, they filed an appeal. So the court decided to dismiss their injunction. Sorry, not dismiss their injunction, but to favor Adore in the injunction that Adore filed. So the court told them, you do have to work through Adore. They filed an appeal after 2 days. In that appeal, again, the court sided with Adore. So the court said, no. So remember, the hearing actually lasted 10 minutes or 12 minutes. And then the decision came, and the court said, yeah, you still have to, nothing changes. So you still have to work through Adore. They filed almost immediately another appeal. So they appealed the decision again. Okay. That law firm is going to earn a lot of money. I have to say, billable hours. I don't know how much they're getting paid. Probably 1,000 per hour. I don't know the rate but like in the US, if it is that caliber, like the second biggest in the country, that's like $1,000 or something per hour. So this producer, I'll share with you. This is his channel. Okay. If you want to go and visit his channel later. Okay, so I'll share this. So this is a producer in South Korea, and he kind of discussed some important points. I'll just go through the highlights of the things that he discussed, and then you will find the link to his channel in the description box once this is uploaded. So he said, here are some of the highlights of the things that he discussed. So number one, he said that as a producer, considering that he is a producer, it is never good for a producer to overshadow the artist. He does not agree that the producer should be bigger than the artist in any way, shape, or form. So for him, the king and the queen should always be the artist. And once the producer starts taking credit, that's a problem. So he said when Yi Suman left SM, ESPA adopted well with the new producers. As we all know, ESPA was actually Yi Suman's last baby. And he was very much hands-on in the production of the songs. So when he said that when people ask, is New Jeans without MHJ really New Jeans? That's an insult to the artist. Because an artist should be able to stand on its own. So once you say, so he's very surprised essentially that people, that Min Hee-jin and of course New Jeans sort of said that we're nothing without not sort of said, they said that we are nothing without Min Hee-jin. And Min Hee-jin actually said that they are nothing without me, that they are successful because of me. He's saying, I'm so surprised that they actually let it fly and that they even allowed that thought in their head, because that is not a sign of an independent artist and not a sign of somebody who's actually independent. I was shocked watching the Times interview. I've deleted some parts, especially scathing. Like, he was very passionate when he was saying this, and so he said some used some words that I felt is not necessary, are not necessary to be included. So he said, I was shocked watching their Times interview, even they've enjoyed so much popularity, wealth, and glory through Korean K-pop industry, and they say Korea is strange because it's closed off. What the hell is this? So as you know, in the Times interview, they kind of trashed on Korea. You know, they position themselves as revolutionaries, called the industry and the country very unreasonable and stuff like that. So he was like, "Oh, you know, what is this? You've enjoyed all of the success because of Korea, because of the industry that you are now shitting on, basically." Okay. And then he said further, the court didn't acknowledge even one single, not even a single of the 11 things that they are claiming. If you listen to the 11 points that they raised, it's not ambiguous. It's not even ambiguous. He's saying it's not, you can't even call it ambiguous. It's just downright crazy. It doesn't make sense at all. For example, they said if you don't bring Min Hee-jin back, we'll terminate the contract. Imagine ESPA saying if CEO Lee Suman does not come back, we'll terminate our contract. Imagine if it was ESPA saying that to the management of SM Entertainment. How is that going to be taken? But when it was New Jeans, people were positioning it as if it was a reasonable request. Okay. Director Shin Woo-sok must be regretting his involvement now. He said one of the members said, "We have the portrait rights to our faces, so why can't we decide to take that down or upload videos as we please?" So for him, here he was just so like, "What the hell are you even talking about? Don't you even know what an exclusive contract is? Do you not even know who has rights over your music and your likeness?" And then he said, "They said so many current idol trainees or idols are in the same situation as us. They received full support from the company, joined the halo of BTS, and earned 5 billion won each." And then he talked about, because he's also he's really a producer in South Korea, so he produces for different idols. And he talked about how many idols actually don't get paid in the 7 years that they stay with a company. And here they are talking about idols being in the same situation as they are. And he was like, no, there's like zero people that are in the same situation, not even BTS, because when BTS started, they had nothing. So like he was like, no, nobody's in the same situation as you are. You're the only one there and you should be thankful. Next, he said, "I think New Jeans receive top-notch treatment. I've worked with many." This is where he said it, because he has, as I've said, worked with many different idols. I've worked with many idols and some really had a hard time. But for New Jeans to talk about struggles in the music industry as if they've experienced the worst is a disgrace to the country. So he was like, don't ride on the hardships of others. Don't monetize the hardships of other people. All of you bunnies who kept on hustling and supporting them ended up being poisonous. I'm being harsh, but bunnies made it like this. To be really harsh, the parents made it like this too. And MHJ, of course, along with the lawyers who keep supporting them. And then the biggest problem Min Hee-jin created is that she made other idols their enemies. She took aim at groups like ILIT and Les Seraphim. How does turning them into enemies help Min Hee-jin? Why create hostility? Min Hee-jin did this to herself, not for New Jeans. Okay. Also, outside of him, so there was so fun. It was so funny. If you go through the comment section in his YouTube channel, there were so many funny comments. But here's this one person who claims to be, I don't know if it is true, but she claims to be a fan of New Jeans, a bunny. And she proposed a recovery plan. So this is how she thinks New Jeans should be handling this. A press conference, this is her proposal. Number one, a press conference with all members shaving their heads. Okay. The focus is sincerity, and Min Hee-jin should not be blamed either. It's a matter of public opinion and weight that should go to this level. Return or donate the settlement amount. You can prove that this was not done for money. Reward with good song and stage with other producers at a door. Not just good, not okay. It has to be, wow, it's so good. It has to be so punchy that people will say it's crazy. And then volunteer work, a bit extreme and forced rather than image making. And then she said, like, New Jeans has had some strong impact that that it was shocking, and I think it still has a lot of potential. So this is her proposal on what New Jeans should be doing in order to recover their image, their broken image. And there's a lot of that. Like if you go through the comment section, it's almost like, and you will go through some crazy stuff that they are proposing there. Same idea. Have you ever thought about what it means to say that you can't do anything without Min Hee-jin? Aren't you admitting that you are nothing? Okay. By the way, I think that does not bother them if you tell them that. Like, do you admit? So you're saying that you're nothing and you have no skills and whatever. I think they don't care. So saying that, I don't think it makes any sense. Like it doesn't land to them in any way, shape, or form that is substantial. So some people are asking, is the law firm just milking New Jeans for billable hours? Or in other words, the amount of money that they pay? Um, I personally do not think so, because I find it hard to believe, and I said this on Patreon, I find it so hard to believe that the second biggest law firm in the US will advise, not in the US, in South Korea, will advise their client to fight a losing battle. And as the second biggest law firm in South Korea, I do know that they know that the second injunction would be useless. I'm not saying that they think there is no chance for the main lawsuit, but I think they know that this injunction will just yield the same result. I mean, if I know that, if you and I know that, what else? What more them when they are supposedly the biggest, the smart ones? So no, I do not think the law firm is milking them. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I think the law firm is advising them to not proceed with the lawsuit. It's just that the girls are not listening to them. I think these are the girls telling them, no, we want to keep on filing an appeal. And I think they will exhaust that to the very last. If they can file 100 appeals, they'll do that. So they'll do anything and everything within their power so that they do not have to go back to a door. So I think this is their decision. I definitely think, I am 99% sure that the law firm is telling them, let's not appeal. It's not, this is not, or probably it's not that the law firm is telling them let's not appeal, but probably more like the law firm is telling them, 99% chance that we're going to lose, that the court is going to favor Adore again. So now I don't think it's just about milking the girls. I think it's the girls really wanting to do this. That's just my opinion. Okay. And it is an opinion because it cannot be proven. um, After a second injunction, do they, meaning New Jeans, think that the court's decision will really change? I do not think they care. I don't think they care whether or not the court will change their mind or decide otherwise, in their favor. I don't think that was what they wanted to do. I think this is just about simply being able to not work for Adore. This is the whole game. They don't want to go back to Adore, and they don't care if they have to file 1,000 appeals, they will do it. So, I don't think the answer to this question is I don't think it matters to them whether or not the court will actually side with them. Okay, again, just an opinion. Can the law firm resign? Of course, the law firm can resign, and they are allowed to resign, but I don't think they will do that because they're also representing Min Hee-jin. And that is going to be it's not going to be a conflict of interest, but I don't think it will, in the court of public opinion, it's going to be a dent in their reputation if they give up on a client. So I think they're in too deep, that they just really need to do their best to get the best possible result that they can afford. I think at this stage, they kind of know they will not get 100% of what they want. But I think they feel that they will be able to get to a place where it's gonna look like they got what they want. For example, if the court decides later on, to let New Jeans work independently but still pay the fine, for example, they're gonna play that to the hilt and make it appear as if, you see, even the court says they shouldn't be forced to come back. Something like that. So at the end, you're still losing, but they're gonna position it as if they won. So I think that is what they're hoping for. If the contract time finish and the lawsuit isn't still resolved, does it mean that they don't have to pay the penalties? No, that's not how it works. No, they still do if the court says. But the length of the lawsuit is not, the length of the contract should not affect. The lawsuit started while the contract is still ongoing. Isn't Adore also getting damaged because their IP is getting destroyed? Yes. But I think, as an entrepreneur myself, I think that ship sailed. I think at this stage, I have to be realistic. If I am in their position, I have to be realistic and say, no, that's gone. That ship sailed. That IP will never be recovered. And it's all a matter of just being able to um, recover some of the damages. Number one. Number two, and probably more importantly, is they just want to make sure that the world knows that you can't just terminate your contract with HYBE. That's not how it works. You can't sign a contract with us and then terminate it whenever you want. So I think that this is what this fight is all about. I don't think they are delusional into thinking that they can still recover new genes. Okay. Um, okay. Let's look through some questions. Fairlane, no, the point is, can the girls finance the law firm hours? No, someone else has the one. Okay, yes. Okay, so I misinterpreted that. Yes, so they definitely at some point, if they are financing it now, at some point in the future, they will need this is a long battle that they are fighting. And if they're planning to file the injunction, that is an easy 30 hours billable, right? The consultation, the paperwork, all of that, 30 hours billable. How much is that? That's going to, at some point, is going to create a dent in your, and that does not include other fees and the filing fees and all of that. So at some point, they're going to drain their bank account. So there's someone else that's actually financing this for sure. Okay. Um, but wasn't they still getting paid by Adore while this is ongoing? Not a lot. So they are getting paid for example, for the streaming, right? Because they are performers and some of them wrote some of the lyrics of the songs. So some of them are getting paid for those, for the streaming. But streaming is not a lot. We all know that by now, right? We know that getting, even if people are saying, oh, this song actually like earned 1.3 million. Yeah, but how many people are splitting that 1.3 million? 100? Like, that 100 is probably like, and then you have to pay your producers and fees and taxes. So the money that they're earning from streaming is not a lot. So the only money that they will be taking, that they can take right now, would be performance, but they are refusing to perform. If they still have ongoing brand deals that Adore arranged for them, or if they accept new ones, they can earn from that. But as it is, many of the things that the money that they are getting paid for is not a lot. It's not a lot. Okay. Can bunnies gather proof for new genes and submit them to their lawyers? So the Team Bunnies actually started a campaign. Excuse me. Sorry. I need to drink. Yes, so Team Bunnies actually started a campaign to ask for evidence. So they are um, they're actually pulling evidence, pieces of evidence that people are submitting to help the law firm. So can they do it? Sure. Will it be used? Maybe, if it helps. But as of the moment, it's crazy the things that they are getting. Like someone actually published one of the like a folder somebody submitted, and apparently it was the same color of the clothing. Like someone wore, was it Isle It wore the same color of clothing as New Jeans, and that is for them proof of plagiarism. And be ready, they're actually accusing Jin of copying a New Jeans. I don't want to say where they are pulling the evidence out of. I think bunnies are already doing that, but some evidence are just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So the latest one that I saw is that they made a side by side comparison of the album, the track list design of of Echo to the track, to the color palette of Blue Jeans or something like that. It's crazy. And like if I'm yeah, it's gonna make you like dumber. So it's gonna make you dumb. Sorry, not dumber. It's gonna make you dumb. So yeah, it's just like insulting to read those. So never mind. How Consuelo? I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I think like there's like a prism. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't even remember, but it was just like, yeah, basically same color. They make it dumb. People are saying people are saying they need to help number two law firm gather evidence. By the end of this, that law firm will be number 20. Oh my god. Those people have employees. I feel so bad for them. Okay, so there is a new evidence about a high producer mistreating them by jumping on a big bunny plush.